Welcome to Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. My name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. Our objective is to enthuse, inspire, energize, and empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes here in BW and beyond. We do so by inviting these entrepreneurs into our makeshift studio. Sometimes we call them to the restaurant, sometimes we go to our studio, and we ask them to share their experiential knowledge, their experiences and their expertise, and we ask them as many questions as we can, aimed at empowering you also as a viewer. Welcome, dear viewer and listener. My name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. As always, I'm excited to bring yet another wonderful guest. We do our best to energize, enthuse, excite, and obviously to empower you with life-changing business information and entrepreneurial information in general. I have a guest who will just do that for you by the name of Aaliyah Balekile. But before I turn to my guest, let me ask you that small favor: strike that subscribe button. We want to get to as many people as we can, and we want to impact as many people as possible, and we can only do that with your support. So please don't just view, do subscribe as well. Welcome to the studio, Aaliyah.
Thank you for having me.
Aaliyah Balekile.
That's
yes.
the name.
I'm so honored that you came to our studio. You honored our invitation. Just get everything started by giving us a short CV of yourself and a little bit about your background.
Oh, I didn't prepare it that way. But anyway, my name is Aaliyah Balekile, as it has already been said.
Mm-hmm.
Qualification-wise, I'm an economist, but I work for Ministry of Health. I'm doing health statistics. And I would like to introduce myself as being a mother and a wife,
mm-hmm.
and an orphan, the only girl child to 5 siblings.
Okay. On the academic side, education side, what have you done?
I've done economics.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but what, bachelor in economics?
Bachelor of...
UB?
No, University of South Africa.
Oh, okay. That's very good. Now, tell us what you're doing currently.
What brought me here?
Mm-hmm.
Or currently, generally what I'm doing?
Both.
Because I'm everywhere.
Yeah, I think go from the general to the specific.
Okay. Like I said, employment-wise, I'm working for the Ministry of Health.
Mm-hmm.
Based in Gaborone HMT, I'm doing health statistics.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do on a daily basis. But besides that, I'm into network marketing. I'm also a...
Network marketing?
Yeah.
Which company?
I'd rather not say it.
Oh, you're not allowed. Okay. It's tricky.
Yeah. And I'm aspiring to be a motivational speaker.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in terms of your work at the Ministry of Health, what statistics exactly? Is it fatalities, births, deaths?
Everything that has to do with the human being.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you compile that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's talk about Rise Above. What is that? How did it all start?
Rise Above, it's personal. I'm using my personal story to motivate somebody. I'm using my story to bring hope to the next person who might be having a similar situation, or who knows anyone who is going through a similar situation or have passed through something that I went through, to say you're not alone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You have a co-founder?
Yes, I have a co-founder.
Tell us about that.
The co-founder is my husband.
Oh, okay.
Because we're actually doing Rise Above Home. We are just using our living room to conduct interviews.
Mm-hmm.
He is the man behind the camera, and I am the host.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's a TV program of sorts.
Kind of.
Yeah, from home.
Yes.
Now, tell us that personal story that has inspired this idea.
Well, when I introduced myself, I said I am a wife and a mother.
Mm-hmm.
But before then, I am somebody's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I am an orphan. years ago I lost my parents. It started with my father. But I would say even though he was gone, it was not that bad because Mom was there to assure us that everything will be fine. But just 2 years later, she also passed away, and that's when I would say the reality of life sank in. And I happened to be the firstborn, and you can imagine the expectations that the society or the family had on me, though I was young and I didn't know what to do. I was just somebody who just lost her parents, but nobody understood the pain that I was going through. I was forced to take up the role of being a mother to my siblings, and even during the bereavement, it was like there was a certain limitation as to when or how I can mourn, because the question would be, if you cry this much, what will your siblings do? Just stay strong to your siblings. And like I was saying, I'm the only girl child. You know, I was alone, and I needed somebody to ask me, how am I? Instead of assuming that you're the firstborn, no, now you know everything. Because it was overwhelming. I even had to go pick or choose a coffin for my mother. For everything to be done, I had to say something, but I was young. And
how old were you?
I was 19
when this tragedy
happened. And after the bereavement, now I took the role of being the mother and the father to my siblings. I remember one time I was invited to school, you know, these PTA meetings to say, go give your parents this letter, there's a meeting or there's a prize giving, and the siblings will come and give me. And it was too much on me because they had no one to give but me. And I went to school, but I was still young. And imagine going to, when I get to school, I don't know which side to sit, whether to sit with the parents or whether to sit with my peers, because
you were treated as a parent.
Yes, but I was almost
a child.
I was just a child who lost their parent. And because I had no one to talk to, I had no one to vent to, or no one ever asked me how I am. I bottled the pain inside of me for the longest time. Because I was kind of not allowed to cry, so I would do that in secret, but out there I would pretend to be fine. Maybe it's because as a girl child, you know, you tend to cope or accept things, I would say, and people say, oh, think you are strong, but you are not strong. So because I bottled this pain in me, I became overwhelmed, and I wanted to pen down my feelings. I wanted to write a book about what I was going through. And now the challenge with the book is because the book has to be edited. So the editor would ask me to elaborate further, and sometimes I would feel like I want to write something, and to him he would say, no, remove this. And it wasn't working for me because it was my place of venting. And
he felt you were using strong language.
Not strong language per se. Maybe I was elaborating too much. Maybe I could have summarized, but I wanted to detail everything. Because the point really was not writing a book, was talking to someone, and I was talking to this paper.
To vent.
And
to take out the pain.
Yeah, and I failed through the book. But then I wanted to become that hope to somebody out there, somebody who might be going through what I went through, to say, I am here to listen to you.
How did you lose your parents? What was the cause?
My father, I don't know what was the cause, because he went for a work trip and he was brought back sick, and he stayed for 3-4 days, and he passed away.
So it's still a mystery to this day.
It's still mysterious.
Sometimes when you don't know what the cause is, there's not 100% closure.
Yeah.
Were you not curious to find out what the causes were?
Not really.
And then your mom?
My mom, 2 years later, she also passed that. But I don't know, but I'm just assuming it's because she was crying for forever. And somehow she was diagnosed with heart problems or whatever. So
which problems?
Heart-related problems, yeah, because of the constant crying.
And this, she was in pain over the loss of your dad?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So still I want to know what inspired the Rise Above movement or company or entity.
Like I said, I wanted to offer people what I lacked. It's a space where somebody comes and they share their story, because I had no space to share my story, and I want people to know that I went through a lot, but I managed to overcome what I was going through. I managed to rise above my limitations that were caused by what I was going through, because I didn't have, I would say, youth. I didn't enjoy my youth because I was a parent, and somehow I closed my mind to say, you cannot have fun, you are a parent, you cannot do this, you are supposed to
You're parenting your siblings.
Yes. You don't talk this way, you talk this way, because now you are a mother and a father, and but somehow I got to open up my mind and accept that this thing has happened to me, and I embraced life, and I managed to rise above my situation, and I became me, not a parent now.
There's a song by Michael Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, Have You Seen My Childhood? Something like that, where he says he was thrust into a lot of responsibility when he was little and he never enjoyed his childhood. That's why he was very close to children, etc. Are you encountering something similar?
Yes. But then I chose not to dwell much into the pain, and hence I'm saying I managed to rise above that and lived like a normal person without attaching my whatever activity that I'm doing with the responsibility that I had.
So what does the company actually do, Rise Above?
The company invites individuals who have stories. I believe everyone has a story. And the people come and share their stories to bring hope to the next person, to say, don't be alone in that little corner. I went through this and I managed. So can you. Because we hear of stories of depression, people taking their lives, people becoming bullies, because they don't have the space to say out what is bothering them. So we are giving people that safe space to say, come and open up what you're going through.
And this will be recorded on video.
Yes.
And tell us the whole setup.
We are using our living room, just like we are here. But it will be in our living room. We have to, the kids have to excuse us. Then we set the living room in a interview kind of setting, and the person just feels free to share whatever story they are going through. Yeah, because we understand. We believe
live.
Yeah, but what do you mean live? We do mean we edit as it is. No, we actually edit because these are real life stories. People do cry. People break down, and sometimes we have to pause for somebody to gain strength again. Sometimes people say things because of the open space, the free space that they're having, and later on they say, but I don't want the viewers to know I said this, so we cut that.
You edit it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Does your co-founder have a similar story? Do you want to share it?
Everyone has a story, but his is not the one that aspired him to be a co-founder of this. He was just my support system as the husband, because he listened to me. Because when I failed in everything, I would just pour everything to him. And when I said I want to give people space to to have a shoulder to cry on, because it's something that I liked, and he understood.
What is his background, incidentally, educationally and so on?
He's doing graphic design. He's into technology. That is why he's the man behind the cameras. He edits. He does everything. And now I just talk.
Okay, yeah. But he doesn't have a story that you want to share.
I believe he will be the best person.
Because when we prepped, you said, as a co-founder, do you also have a story or similar? So I was expecting your.
He has a story, but his was more of struggling after school, finding work after school. You find yourself having to do things that maybe you would think somebody with qualification is not supposed to do such things. He found it the hard way to say you have to go there and cut grass for you to eat.
Okay. Now, so the current mandate, beyond just interviewing people of Rise Above, what is it?
We don't just listen to the story. We take one story at a time and we run along with the person until the person is fine. Remember I said these are life true stories, right? So people have to relive their stories. So like I said, they break down. They need counseling. So we refer people according to their needs. If somebody is, for example, somebody might be suicidal, but because we give them the platform to really say something, to really say the whole story as to how come they became suicidal, we get to pick the root cause, to say we are not addressing the suicidal part, because when you address it, we might say don't commit suicide, you hurt your family, blah blah, we still need you, such kind of motivation. But when you listen to the person, you realize that this person, the problem is not actually wanting to commit suicide, but it's the debts that this person is running from. And we refer them to financial advisors to say, help this person with money-making ways so that he cannot do this thing. Yeah, we refer people according to their needs.
Is there any particular story that really touched you, without mentioning names, that you want to share?
There are many.
Can you share a few?
Yeah. We have interviewed comedians. Some people are comedians, but they are hiding the pain behind the smile. They've gone through a lot. They've been molested. Some have the similar experience. They lost their parents. Yeah, so they turn their pain into being comedians. Some have been cyberbullied, but now they are using that to their advantage.
Okay, so comedy is a way of coping with the pain.
To some, not to all, but to some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other?
We have somebody who also struggled, and he was the firstborn as well, and the family expected a lot from him. Most of that he did well at the University of Botswana, but he used his knowledge from the university to now start to produce products that he is selling, and these products he now has distributors. So these products are helping the people health-wise as well as financially, because they are selling those products for profit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are there examples of any interventions that you did? Obviously, you listened to the story and involved experts, where you can now see the results, sort of the before and after scenario. Are there any examples like that?
Yes. We, like the one that I said, she was cyberbullied. We referred her for counselling. She is now, I would say, a star. People do love her and they follow her so much that she is now being invited as motivational speaker at different places. Yeah, and she's making a living out of that now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because of some of the things you did.
Yes, we have also referred another family to the social workers, and they got built a house We have a family that is being bought food because of the social workers that we referred them to after they shared their story.
Wow. Now tell me about the social media activity. What are you doing on social media specifically, and how has the response been?
We've been having challenges that we are not that active, but we are, I would say, more active on Facebook. We share, we post our stories there. People do watch our videos, and they contact us to say, I also have a similar story. Because most of the people that we interview are people who approached us to say, I have watched this story and I also want to share mine. And some they refer others to say, I think you can help this person, she's going through a lot. Because when I was looking at your stories, I picked that you help other people to overcome their troubles. Can you please address this person?
Okay. How do you juggle the rise above with your regular 8 to 5 or 8 to 4:30 job?
It's
7:30 to 4:30, whatever the time.
Yeah. It's not much of a hassle because the rise above it's a personal story, and like I was saying, I want to be there.
So you work in the evening?
I work in the evenings.
Catch up, yeah.
Yes. I use my lunch hour, I use my weekends. Fortunately for me, I don't work on weekends, though I rest on Sabbath.
Do you monetize this side hustle of yours? And if so, how do you do that?
I don't monetize it. People don't pay to be interviewed. It is just free. It is just a free space.
It's a form of community service.
Yes.
And now, I thought you'd elaborate a little bit when I asked you about community response. By that I mean, are there any responses from the like of Dikhosi, the like of the welfare? You know, I get it, there's the welfare. In various ministries, there's welfare department. How are they responding?
We haven't taken the movement to the leadership, I'll put it that way. But whoever we come across, the reception is very good, I would say. Because for the family that I said they had to be built a house, we went through the VDC and we engaged people of that village to also contribute, to also see us helping them. And I would say they also like the fact that we do that anonymously. We don't share pictures to say this person has been built a house because of 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe they liked the privacy that we gave. Yeah. But we do engage the leadership to say this is what we are doing in your area, and
nobody wants to be
advice.
Wants the public to know that they're destitute, they're struggling.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that to happen. So
we are a movement that brings dignity to people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of your plans going forward, what do you have lined up, or what can the people expect?
We are hoping to be engaged with schools because we want to start the motivation at an earlier age. We are hoping to partner with the guidance and counseling schools, teachers rather, to motivate the schools. We are also planning to, what can I say that? You know, as much as we go through troubles, through challenges, like, for example, what happened during the pandemic, we are never cancelled as people. We just assume everyone is fine. But we realized through conducting these interviews to say there is need to dwell much into counselling, especially even at workplaces, because we may be older, but we are going through a lot.
Yeah. I've decided to bring your husband in to also come and say a few words after you are done.
Okay.
Any last words, any words of empowerment that you want to share with the people?
I would like to say to the people that don't be alone, and that little corner of yours, just know that there is somebody out there who really understands. Whatever you think somebody might not be understanding. For example, when you're going through something, you tend to keep it to yourself and say, even if I tell you, you won't understand. But trust me, do share your story. Somebody out there understands and you get help.
All right. I'm continuing with my conversation with the Balekile family. I spoke to the wife, Aaliyah, and we're just changing things around this particular program and having them come one after the other. I suppose a good place to start would be an introduction, sir.
Okay. I go by the name Balekile.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my surname is Motokwa, Balekile Motokwa.
Yes.
Yes. I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I'm basically a very strong support system to my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
You academically or training wise, what did you do?
Academically, I only did a certificate in the graphic and design field.
So
and,
you're the graphics man.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
yes.
I believe you also have a story to share from the time we're prepping this. What is your story that led to your helping with the co-founding of
Yes.
Rise Above?
Yeah. You know, like when you are at home and you are with your wife, you sometimes you get to share a lot about like your past in depth, right? And as you share it, you sometimes get to a point of realizing, I went through so much. It's like you relive those days.
Yes.
You get to relive what you went through.
As you are sharing, yes, you relive.
As you are having that conversation, I get it. And you get to see like I've went through so much, and you can even motivate yourself. I'm a very strong person. If I managed to go through that, I get it. So mine is I didn't do well in my high school, my Form 5, and for some time I had to do some hustle. I get it. So when I finished my BGCSE, I really wanted to come to Gaborone. Little did I know how much, like how you don't just come to Gaborone and sleep all day and just chill. No, it's not that way. So I had to make a living. Yeah, when I got here, I was staying with my uncle, and he was just a security guard. He didn't earn that much by then. So I had to chip in as well. So I found myself being part of the construction, being a construction employee. I had to find my way around everything, and one of the hardest jobs I had to do was the construction. It's really not an easy job.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was like,
you carrying the laborer?
Yes, I was a laborer. I remember some one day I was carrying a bag of cement alone, and I was like 19. I was carrying a 50 kg. And the owner of the project said, then I was like, what can I do? And we had to do like concrete mixing, like doing it yourself with no machines. And it was my first time. You can imagine how heavy it was. So I had to work for some people. It wasn't really a good job, you know, with such low qualifications. You see, then I said, I really need to do something with my education. Maybe get a certificate, then maybe I would be able to work in an office. Yeah, that I really looked forward to working that way. So having gone through all that, I really want. Then I used the little income that I had to sponsor myself into getting a certificate in this qualification. Yes. Then I think that's how I got to put myself in a situation to want to support her. But being the co-founder of Rise Above, it was more about her, me understanding and me wanting to support, and having the information and the knowledge, being able to work around the cameras, the software, the editing softwares and all that. But let's do this. I can do all this. When I just focus on what you want to do, I'll be there and I'll take care of everything else.
So in the 1 or 2, is it 3 years now that it's been running?
Rise Above.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's 2 years.
In the 2 years, what are the highlights? What are the learnings or the things that you consider significant that have happened?
Personally, to me, some of the things I do, like during the production, mostly are self-taught. I get to see it and realize, oh, okay, so this does this when I do this. Maybe I should do this. I got to learn some things. And then in the show as a whole, I think I'm really impressed and amazed by the impact we have done so far. And yes, I think.
How so? How what amazes you?
You know, okay, we had one guest. You know, that guy was like, he was really shy. You know, throughout the interview, was like, I'll try and see what I can do. He wasn't camera confident, but if right now you can see him, he's being featured by the big guys in the comedy industry. He's doing really well for himself, and you get to see, you get to be like, wow, I was part of this. This improvement, I was part of this change. You know, yeah. So yeah, that's some of the things. And I when we had conversations with her, I got to see her. Indeed, I went through so much, but listening to these people's stories as they share on the show, I get to see her. We go through a lot, and and
perhaps what you went through is not as serious.
Yes,
or
and
as
what
extreme.
I went through is just nothing. Yeah, so that's one of the things I get to see, and I think now I see people are strong out there. People give up, but they don't know just how strong they are. They don't know how much further they can push.
So, in terms of the mandate question, I asked your wife earlier, what did you say is the key mandate of Rise Above? What problem is it solving in the community? If
I was to describe Rise Above, I would say it's a movement. It's a movement that aims to change individuals, one true story at a time, right? So what we want to do is, oftentimes you find yourself in going through so much. You know, there is a whole lot of decisions that I could have taken while it was tough back then. Maybe I would have chosen to be a thief, to attack people. I mean, it's like the easy way out. It's just easy. You threaten somebody, you get their stuff.
It's not that easy. You can get clobbered.
Yeah, you know, but maybe if you target like women, weak people, it may seem easy, right? But I didn't choose that path. But for somebody who chose it, maybe you would ask them, why are you doing this? Again, somebody is grieving and shutting everyone else out. They want to be in their own corner. You say, why are you doing this? Oftentimes you find they'll tell you, you wouldn't understand. Yeah. So what we want to do, we want to make them aware. You as a person who is in a difficult position and maybe shutting everyone else out, maybe wanting to kill yourself, to commit, and you're telling us, sorry, we don't understand. So we are here and we're telling you, you know what, actually somebody does understand. So it's not just you. Somebody went through that and maybe even worse. So our main mandate is to push people, is to make, if possible, a mindset shift. You know, they life will always set limitations for you, but like I said a few minutes earlier, people don't know how much further they can push. So we want to make people aware that you can push even further. Again, this shouldn't be the end. Don't let this set a boundary for you. So we want to motivate again people for being unemployed. Means you should go for the worst options. No, there's a whole lot that you can do. For instance, the guy that sells his he makes his own products.
Which guy?
We had one client, we had one guest. I think he wouldn't mind if I mention his name. His name is Thabo. Yes, Thabo does. He made a product that works on losing belly fat. It's his own. He didn't copy it from anyone.
How do you apply that product?
How do I apply that product?
How does he?
No, it's a tea actually. It's a tea. You just make a tea. On our show, on the episode, he was showing how to prepare the tea. Yeah, it's really cheap. It's like 25 pula. Yes, you just prepare the tea. You drink it hot or however you prefer it, and the results. People who share the results, it's just amazing. But the guy was unemployed. He was unemployed and he was a graduate. He didn't just sit there and do nothing. He decided to make something out of his life. He didn't. And
you encouraged him to go ahead with this, or was he already doing that when he met you?
When we met him, he was already doing that. But we brought him to our platform to share that, to move other graduates out there that are unemployed. And what he actually uses is what he learned from varsity. He learned Corey. He made that product out of some of the things he learned there. So we're trying to say, maybe apply what you learned from school. Some make a living out of their passion. It's totally different from what they learned at school. But some are stuck. They don't know what to do. So with his story, we are saying, try and use what you learned from varsity. Don't just wait for somebody to employ you. Like the guy is now changing lives. You buy his product, you resell it, and it's just something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I can see that the idea has potential to grow.
Yeah.
But as it grows, don't you think you should need to monetize it such that you have a return as well, or it is going to become just a charity event or arrangement forever?
Yeah, no, we are planning on monetizing it, but we right now I think we've started on one angle of monetizing it. Yes, I have a company myself. I do printing, branding, graphic design, and all that. So we want to we are working on making a clothing brand, but it's there's so much out there. There are a lot of clothing brands out there. I think a whole lot. Now that I'm in the printing industry, I have like more than 10 clients, but they do their own brand. So we are still working on making something for Rise Above. And one achievement that we've done so far is we are working with one artist by the name Lerumo, Sizwe Makele. We even use one of his tracks as our our
signature tune.
Our signature tune when during our show. So it's really progress. So we've partnered with him in making this brand. So I think to some extent it's gonna be easier having someone who is well known behind the brand as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Any challenges you've come across as a brand and as a company?
Yeah, we actually do come across quite a few challenges. We have like the money issue. You know, sometimes people will be stuck. Kana, when you want to invite someone as a guest, you see, okay, this guy is doing well. Okay, Mr. Mogobe is doing very well in his line. Maybe we should have him come to our show. Our show does motivation as well. Okay, Mr. Mogobe, can you please come to? How much are you gonna pay me? That's Mr. Mogobe asking. But we don't do this for money. But now we have to pay Mr. Mogobe to come and say what. But that's okay. That's how he does his things. I get it. So on its own, it's a challenge. We feel if we have Mr. Mogobe on our platform, it will do good to and help us achieve what we want to achieve. I get it. But now there's that challenge if we don't have money to pay him. Hence, bringing up the ways of making that money. And then the other challenge is, like she said, like my wife mentioned, we are doing this at home. So we are based in Rasisa. It's kind of far. Maybe it's kind of far from Gaborone, and sometimes Gaborone, they say, it's too far. Some don't mind, but the problem is time. Having to travel all the way there and coming back. But it's 1 hour 30 minutes on the show, and it's 2 hours traveling, or maybe an extra hour traveling. But they only have 2 hours to spare, so it's maybe sometimes too much for them. But then the other challenge is we sometimes we have kind of a hard time referring the people we have to relevant professionals. I get it. And then the other thing is we still have like a bit more of work to do for people to understand what we actually do. But they just want to be on the show. And if you say no, it's like you're not as open to everyone as you say you are. But you look at what does this person actually want. I get it. Yeah. So that's some of the
Speaking
challenges.
about that challenge of people coming, do you shoot also during weekends or holidays?
Yeah, we shoot on as much free time as we have. We do use holidays and weekends. As long as we are home, we can do that. But that we try our best to shoot whenever it's convenient for our guests.
Yeah.
On our side, we try to compromise as much as we can. So whenever you are free, we can.
A lot of people may be watching you who've had similar problems, parents not there, or who are facing social ills of different kinds. What word of encouragement do you have as Rise Above for such people who are facing these challenges?
Okay, to such people, I'll just basically say, like I had mentioned, is that don't you ever believe you are alone, and don't ever believe that nobody will get or understand what you are going through. We at Rise Above, we believe that somebody actually does understand, and somebody can always listen to you. Or you find yourself, or you think there's no one you can talk to. Sometimes talking to a stranger helps. You don't really need. Maybe the people you think you want to talk to are not the right people. So just don't give up. Try by all means to keep pushing and go beyond the limit life is trying to set for you.
And the relationship with these other professionals, How does it work? Are they all also giving voluntary services?
Yes, they are. Yes, for a few that we have, they are giving voluntary
And
service.
if there are some wanting to tap into the platform and they want to also help, what's the process? What's the procedure?
If there's somebody out there who wants to tap into this program, we would really appreciate, and they will find us with open arms, wanting to welcome them to being part of the team, part of the movement.
Yeah.
We are really open, and we wish for more people to come and be part of it and help however they can.
And one of the biggest challenges in this country is GBV.
Yes.
How widespread is that problem, and how are you tackling it?
We had one guest that went through that. Her story was really touching. She's one person where she even almost got buried alive.
Oh no.
That's how hectic it was, and how much suffering she went through. And then it happens it's one person where she has the same idea as ours. So whoever goes
Same ideas as
like trying, she's willing to help people as much as we do. So she saw us, she came and she shared her story, she tapped into the program, she's now part of it. So if anybody is going through that, we refer them to her. I think we have had one or two more people that they have gone to her, and we had one that was and he didn't even come to the show. We just took him straight to the lady, and I think they are making quite good progress now. Yes.
I asked your wife earlier about traditional systems or the khotla, the khosi. Is there a sense in which you can be part of that? I mean, what I've heard is that the reason why there are so many social ills is that we've disconnected from our traditional systems, the khotla system, the family, extended family system, and so on and so forth. Is there a way by which Rise Above can help resuscitate some of those things?
I think I believe so. Yes. I think if we look into it and we give it like more thought, we can try and come up with ways we can help on that note. We have not given it that much thought yet, but I think since you mentioned it, it's one of the things we should look into. We have not dealt with any of the traditional leaders like Bonobodi Kosi de Kosana and all that, but it's really one of the important things that has to be done. Yes, because like you are saying, sometimes we believe or we have derailed much from the traditional system. We as well as Rise Above, we do believe in the traditional system. We do believe in some of the things that are done the traditional way. So it's not something that we would reject. We will surely look into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the long term for Rise Above. Discussing it with your co-founder. What do you see 10, 15, 20 years down the line? What do you hope to see, and what are you planning towards?
In the long term, we really have big dreams. We wish to see Rise Above having grown and making so much impact. We wish to maybe have a channel at some point. Say only what we post. We want to have like something that has more content, on like more like a channel platform. Like you go to your TV, I can switch on to this channel, I can find 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to maybe break it down into details. Like you just come to us, we do whatever we can to help you, but we want to we want Rise Above to eventually have its own, like, how can I put it? We want to have our own system, if I may say. You come to us, we direct you to the right office. You come to us, okay, when you want this, go there. When you want this, go there. I get it. Not referring. We could want to have it as an organization in the long run. Yes, a good and a very good organization that is proper.
Okay.
Yes, even have like branches out there.
Wow.
Based Mogaborone hell.
That's good.
Yes, we want to cover as much of the country as we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you tapping into any help from the government? Is there anything available out there?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out how we can maybe get help from the government.
Okay.
But for now, we just trying to approach individuals to try and help us with whatever that we are lacking.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, if there's any, I always ask people in this program whether they've had a major setback. By that I mean a major challenge which they've had to overcome, either as an organization or as a family, one that they're willing to share with the public. What would that be in your case?
No, for now I don't think there is anything major that we've had. But as an organization, Hela, we've been struggling with the capturing equipment, like the studio equipment. Sometimes we hire, sometimes we borrow. We don't have something of our own as yet. I think that's a major challenge that we have as Rise Above.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now this is the time of the show when you get to ask me a question if you have any.
Okay. Usually I'm not the one asking the questions. Hence, when you started, I told you just pretend you are on your own show. But I'll just ask you, maybe like let me say, as an individual, and at a point that you are at right now, and looking back from where you come from, what maybe 2 or 3 things that drives you to wanting to achieve what you have achieved, and what pushes you even to want to achieve even more?
Last week I was in Zambia talking to 30,850 people in a stadium, and I gave them 10 nuggets of what I believed was an essential component of my success. I'll pick from those 10, 3.
Yeah.
One was avid readership, which is to say that I think that was pivotal in terms of waking me up to possibilities out there. I think that's a very important aspect. The other was appreciating your value in terms of the marketplace, knowing that I've invested 10,000 hours minimum on something, whether it's law, whether it's speaking, whether it's any area that I've become good at.
Yeah.
And then saying to the marketplace, this is what you're going to pay me, and this is what I deserve, and knowing your value, appreciating your value, and going out there to execute. The third thing was grit. Grit is an undefinable, difficult to define component, but it includes such things as perseverance, such things as tenacity, such things as never say die attitude when you have a target and you have something to do, and the idea of persistence. All that is defined as grit. And if you want more details, you will have to wait for my book, where I go into greater detail. Okay, I hope I've answered your questions.
No, you have.
Okay,
You have.
all right.
Yeah.
Now, look at that camera there and leave that viewer with 1 or 2 motivational statements or words.
Okay. To the viewers out there, hello once again, and this is Balekile from Rise Above, and the one thing that I can leave you with is that don't you ever think that you are alone. And like we said, from at Rise Above, we believe somebody out there actually does understand, and in any day we will always be here to give you a listening ear. If you want to unburden all the grief or all the problems or even the pains that you go through as an individual, we will be always here to give you a listening ear and help you however we can. But above all, just trust in God and trust the process and grow through what you go through. Thank you.
Grow through what you go through.
Yes, sir.
I like that. That's a quotable quote.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just share all your socials and your contacts.
Okay. Our contacts are 73254 050. 73254 050. That's a B mobile line. And orange number is 72683 105. 72683 We have a Mascom line 74142931. And then on Facebook we are Rise Above #RA. We are on YouTube as well, Rise Above #RA. And we'll be offering, or we'll be going into more social media platform to give you content very soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You've done a brilliant job, sir.
Yes.
You've done well. You and your wife, you've both done
Thank
very
you
well.
so much. Thank you so
Keep
much.
rising above.
We will.
Keep on rising.
Yeah.
Yeah.